We're going to start after this song.
Is rated for all audiences.
Hash Eggs and Football is sponsored by CrookedRiverRadio.com. Crooked River Radio is an internet radio station that is live 24/7 playing top 40 hits from the 60s through the 80s. You can find us on Live 365, Simple Radio, Roku, Radio Garden, and even Alexa, as well as our website. Come on and join us on the Crooked River.
Welcome to Hash, Eggs, and Football, where we talk about this week's games as Monday morning armchair quarterbacks. Here's your hosts Erik, Nannarone and Pat Morrow.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Hash, Eggs, and Football. I'm Erik.
And I'm Pat. And I'm not sure we're broadcasting, so give me a minute.
Okay. So
we may have to do a restart.
we are live on YouTube. I know, because
I'm not showing up on the restreamer. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I have the YouTube going, so I don't know where else we're not at. I have the YouTube going, so and we're live on Facebook, so I'll keep talking because we're live in two places, and those are the two places that people will pick us up at. So today we will be talking Browns versus Bengals, and also Ohio State versus Nebraska. We'll start with Ohio State versus Nebraska because that happened first. My takeaways from that game is Ohio State's defensive backfield, they need work because they blew coverage on two plays against the same receiver, and they were both for 50-plus yards, and they should have both been for touchdowns, but Ohio State, on the second time, they stopped them at the 1-yard line.
All right, we're rolling.
So for those tuning in on other platforms that didn't catch what I just said, we're recapping Ohio State versus Nebraska, and we're also recapping Browns versus Bengals. But starting off with Ohio State, my biggest takeaway was the communication between the cornerback. Oh, hello, me. I don't want to hear myself once, so now I have to hear myself twice.
Just
No.
keep going.
I know.
I'm trying to get rid of it.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time, Pat. It's okay. The defensive backfield, the lack of communication. There was 2 plays specifically where the safety didn't cover over the top on receiver, and the defensive back ended up getting beat for 50-plus yards. Once was a touchdown, and once they stopped him at the 1, and it was the same wide receiver who beat them on both plays. How they could butcher the coverage on 2 plays on the same receiver. I mean, the Browns did it, but against the Chargers, but that's rare to see that happen.
You're comparing apples to oranges here. First of all, as far as that coverage on that Ohio State game, I don't know what it is, but since Urban Myers has left, that's not the same team, and it's. I think the degree or the caliber of that team isn't quite as good as it was when Myers had it. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's players. I know you're new, and I know you're developing in that. But you're not going to have a perfect team with everything perfect if you've got a bunch of new guys that are in there trying to perform, and that's the trouble right now with Ohio State. You've got a rookie quarterback pretty much. He hasn't been out of high school a year, and you've thrown him into the position of a quarterback for a number 1 college team.
Honestly,
or a top 5 college team anyway.
I mean, I know they're in the top and they would never do this, but I would like to see them fire Ryan Day and bring in Luke.
You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that.
I know.
Day's doing well enough with it. If Day was in the situation that Harbaugh's in out there in Michigan, and I should say that team up north, if that was Day instead of Harbaugh, he'd be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Luke Fickell is. I know we saw him for a year, but that wasn't enough, and he needed time in a lower conference to get experience, and he has. And he's proven himself, and now he's a leading candidate for LSU or USC. I doubt he'll get the USC job.
I think you're gonna see this quarterback from Ohio State there for the next 4 years. I'm afraid, unless he gets hurt or something during the season. I really do. I don't think there at this point there's any decision to change him. And depending on how they start next year, he's sure going to be there the rest of this year. There ain't no question about that.
Well, no, but he'll be out after next year because he's going to go to the NFL.
Well, if he does, then so much for that. But he's developing, and he's only been here a year. What? I mean, 7 or 8 games now.
I know it's early and he hadn't even really played a game. He was projected to be the number 1 quarterback in the class of 2023.
He just may be that. He just may be that. But we ain't going to see until, Ohio State's good for developing quarterbacks. They always have been. And between that and wide receivers and running backs, we're right up there with the best of them.
I feel like they could do better at developing quarterbacks. I don't know how well this quarterback coach is doing with Stroud. And by the way, this quarterback coach just happens to be Urban Meyer's son-in-law. So, I think they could do better because I think he just has the job because of nepotism, not because he
not necessarily
is qualified. But
he did do a halfway decent job with, or Ohio State did anyway, with Justin Fields. You know, even though Justin Fields went into some of the bottom feeders of the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's just the way it is until they develop. And I've never agreed with Chicago's coaching staff. I think they stink, to be honest about it. But I won't say that on the air.
I think their special teams coach is better than their head coach, and that's pretty bad when I could say your special teams coach is a better head coach than your head coach because he's a special teams coach. Yeah, I know John Harbaugh was a special teams coach, but it's rare for a special teams coach to become a head coach and be a successful head coach.
Well, you know, as far as Harbaugh goes, I don't know why they picked up his options. Ohio State's always had his number.
Oh, I was talking about his brother, the Baltimore coach. Yeah. But
Same
just
difference.
using him as an example of special teams coach that was elevated to a head coach, because usually it's offense or defensive coordinator that's elevated. Usually special teams coaches don't get the promotion to head coach. I don't know why though.
Yeah, I don't know why either. They are always looking for offensive coordinators first.
Yeah.
But that's the way the league is.
But
Anyway, let's move on to our one of our favorite subjects. If you're ready for that.
With Ohio State, real quick. I was very impressed by that Jackson Smith and Jigma, number 11. He's developing well because he's a true freshman, if I'm not mistaken. But he's probably our best receiver over Olave and Wilson, which is saying a lot because they've proven themselves over the past 2 years. But Smith and Jigma has been getting the ball a lot and producing a lot more than Olave and Wilson.
Well, when you've got as much tape on you as Olave does, you're gonna be affected by that anyway. People are gonna see what's coming, and when these teams look at the tapes, they look to see what the patterns in that are. So I'm not surprised that he's not doing as well this year as he was last, because there wasn't quite as much tape on him. But that's the way that those things go sometimes. That's the benefit you got when you're coming into a league like the NFL. There's no tape on you, and what's there was probably from college, which was a whole different story anyway.
Mm-hmm. But they can't use tape from high school.
Yeah,
So
that's not gonna tell anything. It's always the tail of the tape.
It really is. So, but getting to the Browns, I think.
Did you say getting to the Browns? Did you know what? Do you know what, Eric? You know what, Eric?
I think Pat has something special for us.
The Browns won.
Yes.
Tell it on the mountains, over the hills and everywhere, yes, go. Tell it on the mountains, the Cleveland Browns have won. One more time, go. Tell it on the mountains,
Sing along with us.
over the hills and everywhere, yes, go. Tell it on the mountains, the Cleveland Browns have won.
Yeah, I found that and I'm like, we gotta use that. So,
And,
but I think we have another thing. Let's play the Denzel Ward highlight.
Oh, you want to do? Well,
Yeah,
you want to do that all now?
Yeah. Well, because
Well, let's
since
set it up
that
first
happened
anyway.
at the beginning of the game, I think that should be the
All right.
You know.
If you've watched the Browns game, you know what went on in the first possession of Cincinnati, with more or less a scoop and run from Denzel Ward.
that was an interception. That wasn't a fumble.
Well, it was almost to the ground,
Oh, okay.
and he scooped it up he pretty much took it out of the almost on the ground and ran it 99 yards. I mean, that was probably one of the highlights that I'll always remember about this game. But, let's go ahead and run that.
The biggest question on that, after that, was why did it take Denzel Ward so long to get back in the game? It shouldn't take I get he ran 99 yards, but it shouldn't take a professional athlete 5 minutes straight on the oxygen tank. It
Because he
shouldn't
hasn't
take-
played in forever.
Yeah, it
You know,
shouldn't
this
take
was his
any
first-
human.
This was
But-
his first game back, and I bet he didn't practice that much either. And it is what it is. You know, wait till you get old, and you got to go on that. You try to run, and you almost need an oxygen tank at the end of it. You'll get there one of these days, son. You'll get there.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, Ward had a good game because he also had a fumble recovery later in the game. But the defense always tends to start off slow, but somehow they're one of the top-rated defenses in the league. Don't ask me how. But
Well, you
they're
know,
like,
the thing you got to consider, you had Ward back, and you had a couple of other. What was that other one that came back this week?
Clowney,
What?
Jadeveon Clowney.
No, he's been there, but there was another defensive guy that came back this week. I don't remember, but you know, to the point where you've only got, I think there's one or two other people that are out, and you'll have
Yeah.
a complete defense again. You haven't
Well,
had
I
that in
mean-
about 6 weeks.
Greedy Williams he was back, but I think
Yeah, he
he's
got battered up again.
I think he's done, like, career-wise. He keeps screwing up that shoulder. And once you have nerve damage in your shoulder, it's never going to heal, or he's always going to rush it and never allow it to heal.
Yeah.
And tonight, as you can see, I'm wearing a Browns jersey, debuting my my 75th anniversary Browns Grant Delpit jersey. 1946. But yeah, I thought
That's
I
what I
would
think
point that
about
out.
you.
That's
That's about what
irrelevant.
I think of your jersey.
Good morning, good afternoon, and
Yeah. Oh, I wonder where you got that combination from.
I don't know. These things just come to me.
Yeah. But the defense is coming together. Newsom had a really good game too, especially guarding Jamar Chase, putting him out on an island like that.
Well, you've got another game or two, and then you're going to start getting what's in the. By the time you get through the end of the bye week, which I think is what game? It's week 11, which is only 1 week or 2 weeks away. By the time you get into the bye week and get through that, you're on the other side of that. You're going to have some other players that are coming, as far as offensively, that's coming back, and the big one you're going to have coming back is Hunt.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of the Browns are missing Hunt a lot. I mean, Dearness Johnson's okay, but he's
Well, he's a
nothing
good
compared to Hunt.
fill-in.
Mm-hmm. But I think it just needs they need Hunt back, and they need to figure out what's wrong with Conklin, because with him out, Hanson's played okay, but they need Conklin back as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good pretty sturdy corner there. And as far as Conklin, I don't mean it as a position, but I mean he's the one that's going to be there for the protection, and him missing you're missing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just think if Cincinnati would have had him on the other side, you would have had to send Garrett and that against him.
I know that would have been
quite as good.
No.
And
also,
you know, Eric, I had said back in week 2, what did I tell everybody? I said, when we get to Cincinnati, we're going to tear them up because they still haven't got Burrow any protection on their line.
No, and you've been saying that all year.
I've said that all along here, and when we got to them, what happened? It did what I said we were going to do. Because I'm not the only one that saw that. You can bet on that. And
so also, sorry to cut you off, but for those of you listening, if you want to throw in your opinion, please text or call us at 440-372-4688. Oh, wait, yeah, 88. Sorry.
yeah, 4688.
Yeah. I should have that memorized. And
The phone lines are open.
Yeah. We probably should have given that out at the beginning of the show, but I completely forgot. So, but, he got destroyed. I mean, even the one late hit that could have been a roughing the passer.
I'll tell you what got me is that they ended up finding the Browns a 15-yard unsportsmanlike there in front of the
bench.
In front of the bench.
And
there was like some of the other ones that we've been in, the melees and whatever. What happened? Oh, the other team didn't do anything. Although
I think there was a little bit.
I think the refs were feeling sorry for him.
But I think there was a little in the one melee that after the hit on Burrow, I think the refs now target number 33 for us and watch him extra, Harrison, because he was the one who was in the skirmish against Kansas City and got flagged. Oh wait, he was in the skirmish this week and got flagged. And he's gotten fined like 3 other times. That sounds like a little bit of a witch hunt.